This is News 8 Now, this morning.
I want you to call them and just tell them that you're thinking about them. And that could be the one thing that makes them not make a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Right now, this is the biggest missing puzzle piece we had, and now we have it. So for us as a school, now when a family or a student looks at Luther, there's no aspect of their academic career that we can't help them with, especially with the quality education we already have.
And so it was all printed in Winona, edited in Winona, sold in Winona and the surrounding area. And so through Junkyard Tough, I'm really trying to make a difference in the community. And one good example of that is doing events like this.
Good morning, everyone, and that was your morning eye opener. I'm Jeremy Wall.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
It is June 23rd, 2023, and today is going to be one of the nicer days before we have some rain chances, Derek?
Yeah, so we're talking about rain chances here as we head into this weekend. We got another hot day here for us to deal with today, with those highs approaching those 90s. And also we have air quality alerts that we're dealing with here today as well. So we'll get right to that. And as you can see behind me, we still have air quality alerts in effect for the state of Wisconsin until 11 p.m. tonight. And then for southeast Minnesota, you're under this until 9 p.m. tonight. Our current temperatures are into the 50s and 60s. We got 63 in La Crosse, 65 in Eau Claire, 50s though in areas like Sparta, Black River Falls, and into Volkfield, with mainly clear skies. A couple of light showers here, mainly to the north around the Dunn County area and Chippewa Valley. But other than that, the skies are looking mostly clear for everyone else currently. With temperatures warming up into the 70s by 9 o'clock, and then we're in the 80s by the late morning, followed by the low 90s as we head into those later afternoon hours. A slight chance of a shower, but overall mostly sunny and just overall hot. The allergy report here is high for the grass, the medium side for the pine, and low side for the weeds. Now we're starting to show some of those air samples containing some mold spores as well. So that's just something to let you know about. But I'll have a check on your backyard forecast plus your full weather forecast. I'll time out the details as far as the rain here this weekend in just a bit.
Alrighty, thanks, Derek. Let's get to some news this morning. Toma police have identified the man they believe is responsible for an early Monday shooting at the city's Super 8 hotel. According to an official release, police say 23-year-old Crimson Pere shot a victim twice at the 900 block of East McCoy Boulevard. Police say the victim was able to disarm Pere and fled to the city's Super 8 hotel where staff called 911. The victim is now recovering. Police say they found Pere at an apartment complex on Berry Avenue after responding to a call of someone bleeding profusively. Pere is in Monroe County Jail for charges of first-degree attempted homicide, aggravated battery, recklessly endangering safety, and negligent handling of a dangerous weapon. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office is reminding the public what to do if you accidentally call 911. The Sheriff's Office says within a 7-hour span, dispatch received 33 911 calls. 24 of them were hang-ups. Police want to remind everyone that if your phone is in a pocket or cup holder, it can accidentally call 911. If an accidental call happens, police say you should stay on the line and tell the dispatcher that there's no emergency. If you don't stay on the line, police have to assume there's an emergency and will call you back. Well, Eau Claire City Police are asking for the public's help finding a missing teenager. Police say 14-year-old Koya Olson was last seen on June 11th and hasn't spoken to her family since June 14th. They also say she ran away from home and they have now exhausted earlier leads. Anyone with information is encouraged to call Detective Chaz Walton at the number on your screen. A heads up for drivers who pass through La Crosse's south side. A portion of South Avenue will be closed. The closure will be in place around the railroad tracks near the intersection of Green Bay Street and South Avenue. Crews will be working on the railroad crossing. There will be detours posted using Jackson Street and Loosley Boulevard. The closure is expected to end on Monday at 6 in the morning. U.S. military veterans are 1.5 times more likely to commit suicide than other citizens. That's according to the American Psychological Association. Wisconsin 3rd District Congressman Derek Van Orden and 15 other representatives have now introduced a resolution to help veterans struggling with their mental health. The resolution would set November 12th as National Warrior Call Day. The day is meant to encourage Americans to contact a veteran or active duty service member and let them know they aren't alone. Van Orden, who is a retired retired Navy SEAL has a personal connection to this issue. He says he introduced this bill because a man he served with took his own life.
I want you to call him and just tell him that you're thinking about him. And that could be the one thing that makes him not make a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
While the official call date is November 12th, Van Orden says it's never the wrong time to call.
You do not have to wait till November 12th. You do not. You can call a veteran or a National Guard folk right now, or an active duty service member. You can call them today.
Van Orden says the resolution has bipartisan support. If you are a veteran and are struggling with your mental health, call 988 and push 1. That will bring you to a veteran support hotline. Well, faculty and students at Luther High School are getting an upgrade. The school's breaking ground on a new state-of-the-art Center for Advanced Manufacturing Learning. The school also recognized a grant from the Ronald and Joyce Wanak Foundation that will pay for equipment and career development opportunities for students. Project leaders say this investment will benefit everyone in the community.
Advanced manufacturing is important because it creates wealth for an area. It brings money to an area. And that's what it's all about, a positive balance of trade. And that's going to be very important for this area.
Luther's advancement director says this new center will fill an academic void.
Right now, this is the biggest missing puzzle piece we had, and now we have it. So for us as a school, now when a family or a student looks at Luther, there's no aspect of their academic career that we can't help them with, especially with the quality education we already have.
Students will be able to learn about trades such as advanced robotics, welding, and an advanced woods program. Construction on this center is expected to be completed by the January of 2024. A Vietnam veteran overcomes PTSD through the music in the documentary Apache Blues. It tells the story of Vietnam veterans from a multi-year journey into the lives of veterans before and after the war. Veteran Dwayne Bloor and soundtrack composer Dan Kuba are both from Hillsborough. Bloor is one of the documentary's subjects, while Kuba composed the film's score. Kuba listened to Bloor's experiences in Vietnam to find musical inspiration for his soundtrack, and in their discussions, they became good friends.
We have become great friends because of this music trip that I'm on, and I'm very, very happy to do what I can for the vet.
Dwayne says he struggled with PTSD for decades after his service, but when he listens to Dan's soundtrack for the film, he feels some relief.
Dan's songs, you just sit there and listen to them. And you can, a lot of times you feel like you're right in the jungle.
Apache Blues is scheduled to play at the Dances with Films Festival at the famous TLC Chinese Theaters in Los Angeles. The film will play on July 2nd at 5 p.m. For more information on the documentary, we'll post a link on news8000.com. Oh, Winona nonprofits celebrated the people who make their yearly film festival happen. The Frozen River Film Festival is held every February and it's the only all-documentary film festival in Minnesota. The nonprofit held a midsummer meltdown at Peter's Beer Garden with beer, snacks, and live music to thank their donors and volunteers. The festival's managing director says after 18 years, their event is expanding.
It's an exciting time. We have lots of programming besides films. We now collaborate with lots of other organizations to present other arts activities, outdoor winter recreation events, and all sorts of great things.
Mueller says the February festival used to be a weekend event, but now runs a full week in February. All right, well, in honor of Adopt a Cat Month, Winona's oldest and largest used bookstore is honoring our furry friends. Paperbacks and Pieces bookstore partnered with the Winona Area Humane Society to bring patrons a special summer story time. Winona native and author Jenny Birch read from her latest book, Junkyard Tough, A Tale of Bravery. It follows the story of a cat named Boots who goes through challenging times and learns what it means to be brave. Birch says this book is all about giving back to the community.
And so it was all printed in Winona, edited in Winona, sold in Winona and the surrounding area. And so through Junkyard Tough, I'm really trying to make a difference in the community. And one good example of that is doing events like this.
The main character of Birch's book is based on the story of her real cat, who was also from a junkyard. A portion of the proceeds from sales of the book will go to her Paperbacks and Pieces bookstore. Still ahead on your morning news, 3M has agreed to pay billions of dollars to settle claims of PFAS contamination. And the Federal Trade Commission is suing Amazon over their Prime membership auto renewal. That and more coming up this morning. All right, for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Toy maker Hasbro is bringing back the Furby again. Hasbro reintroduced the bug-eyed gibberish talking Furby with a launch on Amazon to mark the toy's milestone anniversary. This Furby comes in 2 color options, coral and purple. It costs $70 and hits stores nationwide July 15th. Parents, don't worry, this Furby has an off button. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning is after the break.
Well, air quality alerts continue across the Coulee region until 11 p.m. tonight, mainly for Wisconsin. But if you're in southeastern Minnesota, you're under this until 9 p.m. here tonight. In the meantime, our current temperatures are into the 60s, some spots into the 50s, though further east, 65 in Eau Claire, 63 degrees currently in La Crosse. Dog walking conditions today looking good. Sunshine for the morning, mostly sunny this afternoon, and mainly clear skies as we take you into early this evening. Speaking of mainly clear, that's what's happening now. I'm watching a couple of showers near the Chippewa Valley, however, to our northwest. Here's a check on your zone forecast today. I'm expecting another hot day. High temperatures will climb into the low 90s this afternoon. La Crosse County, 94 today in Shelby, 91 West Salem. Further south we go, upper 80s to low 90s here with a high of 90 today in Brownsville, 94 in La Crescent. Going to be reaching 90 today in Melrose and a high of 89 in Warrens today, 90 today in Trempealeau, also in Winona as well. Highs in the low 90s in the Chippewa Valley, 90 today in Eau Claire with some passing clouds. In your backyard forecast today, maybe heading out poolside, getting a dip in the pool, definitely recommended here as that temperature will be 94 degrees this afternoon under partly cloudy skies. Now stay tuned. I'll have a check on your full weather forecast coming up in a bit. We'll time out some of these rain chances that were expected here as we head into this weekend.
In your consumer news this morning, 3M has agreed to pay over $10 billion to settle contaminated water claims. The settlement was made with multiple U.S. cities over PFAS. The payments would be paid over a 13-year period to cities under the agreement. 3M will help pay for testing and treatment for water supplies affected by PFAS contamination. The company plans to stop producing PFAS by 2029. Fruit smoothie lovers may want to check their freezers. Sunroast Growers has recalled frozen fruit products sold nationwide. According to the recall by the USDA, pineapple provided by a third-party supplier may have been contaminated with listeria. Officials say no illnesses have been reported. The products were distributed to several national chains like Walmart and Target. Many of the recalled products were distributed between fall 2022 and now. The FDA advises if you still have one of these products to throw them away or return them for a full refund. Well, the Federal Trade Commission is suing Amazon for allegedly deceptive tactics with customers. The agency says the retailer tricked people into signing up for its Prime service and then made it difficult to cancel.
Prime members get holiday deals before anyone else.
Prime is a major moneymaker for Amazon. It has more than 200 million subscribers worldwide who pay fees generating $25 billion in annual revenue. But now the Federal Trade Commission is targeting the company for allegedly using what it calls manipulative, coercive, or deceptive practices known as dark patterns to gain subscribers and to keep them. In a heavily redacted filing, the FTC alleges Amazon tricked and trapped non-Prime customers into unknowingly signing up for the service during the checkout process by, quote, presenting them with a prominent button to enroll in Prime and a comparatively inconspicuous link to decline. It also claims Amazon made it very difficult to navigate canceling a Prime subscription with a 4-page, 6-click, and 15-option process the FTC says Amazon called Iliad after the nearly 16,000-line ancient poem.
Prime Day is almost here.
The filing also alleges Amazon executives knew about the complex and confusing process and neglected to change it until April of this year. Former FTC Chair William Kovacic.
It's certainly the FTC's perception that Amazon is hardly alone in this, which again is why I think they're singling out the company as an exemplar here, as a focal point for a major lawsuit that is seeking to change behavior across the industry.
In a statement, Amazon called the FTC's claims false on the facts and the law, saying, by design, we make it clear and simple for customers to both sign up for or cancel their Prime membership.
Before you get started on your Prime Day festivities, verify your Prime membership.
You could check your Amazon Prime subscription by going to Manage Prime Membership under User Settings on their website. All right, well, that's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek and today's forecast. Derek.
Thanks for that, Jeremy. We're looking at air quality alerts in effect for the state of Wisconsin until 11 p.m. tonight. If you're in southeast Minnesota, this goes until 9 p.m. here tonight. Other than that, our current conditions now in La Crosse are at 63 degrees with sunshine. Visibility looking good at 10 miles. Southeast winds light at 6 miles an hour. Meanwhile, if you're in Eau Claire, 65 degrees. A few passing clouds here. Wind speeds are looking nice and calm. Visibility at 9 miles. Current temperatures across the rest of the area into the 60s. Some spots, however, back towards the east are into the 50s. And our forecast highs today will be rising once again into the low 90s in many spots here this afternoon. A check on your planner showing us 68 degrees at 7 o'clock and then 86 degrees. Mostly sunny by noon today. Slight chance of a drizzle possible around 4 p.m. Other than that, mostly sunny, 94 being the temperature, 86 degrees with sunshine as we head into early this evening. Right now, things are looking clear. A couple of light showers here near the Chippewa Valley, but really other than that, that's about it as we're watching a stationary frontal boundary position here to our west. That's why we're seeing some of those showers and a few thunderstorms back towards the west of us as well, impacting areas like the Chippewa Valley here so far this morning. And that's very good news because we definitely need the rain around here. The latest drought monitor index that came in yesterday is clearly showing a moderate drought status here for the Chippewa Valley. Our central zones are under this abnormally dry condition, and then across the southern communities, we are under this moderate drought status. In the far south, you go under that severe drought. So any type of rain is definitely needed here across the area. We're going to be watching the stationary frontal boundary popping off some showers and thunderstorms as we head into this afternoon. We're going to be looking at that dissipating though as we head into tonight as far as those rain chances are concerned. And then I'm watching this low pressure system back to our west here. That is expected to track east, and out ahead of it we could be looking at widespread showers and thunderstorms as we head into tomorrow afternoon and also into tomorrow night. And then it looks like as we head into the day on Sunday, we could still be watching some shower and thunderstorm development with this low pressure system moving through. So again, very good news here for the drought conditions. However, we're going to have to be watching this carefully because it could produce some locally heavy rainfall here at times. And in fact, you could see that we may even see around an inch or so, if not more, in many spots. And the other thing that we have to be monitoring here is the chance for some of these thunderstorms to produce some strong to severe activity in terms of some heavy rain, some gusty winds, and also some hail. I'm thinking the main timing before this will be anywhere between that 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. hour here for tomorrow. Here's a check on your 8-day forecast, and you can see that we'll keep the rain chances through Monday. Look at the temperatures next week, much cooler as highs drop into the low to mid 80s for the most part next week, which is more seasonable for this time of the year. Lows mainly in the 60s. Stay with us. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. We're taking a quick break with a look what happened on this day in history for June 23rd. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Blitz. The high school baseball season might be over, but bring on some summer ball. The Legion season is in full swing, and we had a good one last night between two area squads over in Holmen. Let's hit the diamond. Holmen Post 284 playing host to Onalaska. Pick it up in the fourth. Game tied at 1 until Eli Edwardson comes through. He fights one off in a right, drops just inside the line. Hayden Goodell comes in to score. It's 2-1. Next inning, Holmen adds another. Jared Rodering running on the play. The ball goes to the backstop. Rodering slides in safe to make it 3-1. But here comes Onalaska in the sixth. Carter Gilhausen is going to smoke one in a center field for a base hit. So 2 runners on for Ben Foss. And the lefty is going to absolutely unload on this pitch. High and deep to right. I had a terrible angle, but that's where it would land. 3-run go-ahead shot puts Onalaska up 4-3, but Post 284 strikes back. Tyler Rosenau, the hero on Thursday night, base hit in a center. 2 runs come in to score. Holmen takes the lead. Post 284 hangs on for the win by a final of 5-4. What a game. Let's go to the Lumberyard. Loggers opening up a 4-game set against Thunder Bay. In the 7th, Lacrosse is going to tie this baby up. Jack Collins base hit in a center field. Jackson Cobb scores to tie the game at 1. Later in the inning, Loggers still at it. Jordan Donahue is going to scorch it to first. Look at the wheels. Hard 90 down the line from Donahue. Loggers take a 2-1 lead, but the Border Cats tie it up, and then in the 9th, Thunder Bay tacks on a couple more thanks to Travis Chestnut. Thunder Bay goes up by 2. Loggers drop the series opener 4-2. On to the pros. Twins looking for the series split against Boston. First inning, Carlos Correa at the dish, and this ball is crushed deep to left. No doubt about that one. Solo shot for Correa makes it 1-0 Minnesota, and the homer parade continues. Later in the inning, Byron Buxton, look out. How far is this one going? A monster blast to left, 466 feet. Unbelievable. This Twins fan right here, she's loving it. It's 2-0 Minnesota, and Buxton not done. Tries to outdo himself in the third. Another moonshot, this one to center, 465 feet. Second homer of the game, Twins up 5, and that was more than enough for Joe Ryan. A complete game 3-hitter for Ryan, 9 strikeouts on the day. Twins get the shutout win 6-0. Ryan gets a bath after it's all done. When the week began, the men's and women's basketball teams at UW-La Crosse were still both in need of a head coach. On Tuesday, La Crosse native Moran Lonning was named head coach of the women's team, and now just 2 days later, the Eagles have found their next leader on the men's side. It was a solid campaign for UWL this past season. Eagles going 19-7, 10-4 in conference play, ultimately falling to UW-Whitewater in the semifinals of the WIAC tournament. Former head coach Ken Dernbach spent 6 seasons at UWL, but in late April, Dernbach decided to return to UW-Stevens Point, this time as the head coach of the Pointers. That left a void in La Crosse, but on Thursday, that void was filled. Eagles announcing that West Allis native JT Gritzmacher will take over as the 25th men's basketball coach in school history. Gritzmacher spent the past 3 seasons as the head coach at Bryant and Stratton College in Wauwatosa. He compiled a 57-30 overall record with the Bobcats, including winning a single-season school record 26 games this past season. Gritzmacher is a UW-Whitewater grad. He also served as the Warhawks assistant coach from 2015 until 2017. And how about this? The Panthers' phenomenal run continues. What a calendar year it's been for West Salem sports. And another team achieving a ton of success recently. The West Salem Trap team taking 2nd place overall with a score of 481 at the Clay Target League State Tournament in the town of Rome. Panthers just 1 bird shy of a 1st place finish. And a big congrats to Olivia Burchell, who did place 1st in the varsity female category with a score of 97. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
A new report is revealing some alarming findings about pedestrian safety in the U.S. Astrid Martinez has more on what researchers uncovered and what we can do about it.
Pedestrian fatalities are on the rise, according to a new report by the Governor's Highway Safety Association.
The number of factors, unfortunately, have converged to create this deadly situation.
In 2022, drivers struck and killed more than 7,500 people walking in the U.S., the most in 41 years. Adam Snyder is with the GHSA.
That's 20 pedestrian deaths every single day. That's just unacceptable.
The report includes data from 49 states and Washington, D.C. It found the majority of the fatalities have occurred at night over the past few years.
Many parts of the country lack adequate infrastructure, even simple things like sidewalk and lightings that can help pedestrians. Our vehicles are getting larger and heavier, and that poses a greater danger for people on foot.
Snyder recommends several ways to reverse the trend, including designing safer roadways and community engagement with vulnerable populations. But he says educating drivers about their responsibility to yield to pedestrians would make the biggest impact of all.
Later this summer, the GHSA will hold its annual meeting in New York City where traffic safety experts, public health officials, and members of law will discuss strategies to combat the rise in pedestrian fatalities. Wisconsin Republicans in the legislature's budget committee are announcing a $3.5 billion income tax cut proposal. The plan says the average tax cut would be 15% for all fillers, or $573. The state would also go from 4 to 3 tax brackets, with the lowest bracket at 3.5% and highest at 6.5%. Democrats argue the cuts disproportionately favor the wealthy. Republican lawmakers will also cut $32 million in the University of Wisconsin system's budget. This will leave the university nearly $500 million short of what it requested. Republicans say the $32 million they are cutting is what they estimated it would cost to run campus diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. UW's president has warned of tuition increases if the system's budget isn't increased. Governor Evers has threatened to veto the entire state budget if the system's budget is cut. A Kanadi woman faces a criminal charge after investigators reported she stole almost $100,000 in donations. These donations were meant to go to the Stars and Stripes honor flight. Mary Jo Ola has the details.
60-year-old Joni Nogue, seen here holding a giant check, is accused of stealing close to $100,000 meant for Stars and Stripes honor flight, which provides life-changing trips and memories to our veterans. In a criminal complaint, Milwaukee County investigators say between 2016 and 2023, Nogue's nonprofit, We Run, They Fly, collected more than $100,000 in donations. The complaint shows multiple checks that never made it to Stars and Stripes honor flight. Out of all the money raised, the group received just under $20,000. Investigators say a majority of the money went to Nogue's personal expenses, including spa services, groceries, and more. In a statement, Stars and Stripes honor flight leaders did not comment specifically on the charge, but say anyone who may be fraudulently fundraising for our organization will be swiftly referred to law enforcement.
No idea. No one on the board had any idea. We were shocked.
WTMJ radio host John Mercure is on the board of directors for Stars and Stripes honor flight.
It's preying on our veterans, those men and women that we're trying to honor as a community. And if it's true, it's just sickening.
Law enforcement began investigating after issues with the check for more than $9,000 in 2021. Authorities say Nogue admitted to wrongdoing, expressed remorse, and pledged to make it right.
Nogue's nonprofit organization organized several 5K fundraisers whose proceeds were supposed to go towards the Honor Flight program. Two downtown La Crosse parks are back with summer traditions. The Cameron Park Farmers Market will be back with vendors from 4 p.m. to dusk, and Riverside Park is hosting Fourth Fridays from 4 to 8 p.m. Fourth Fridays is a monthly La Crosse event featuring food and drink vendors, arts and crafts, live music, and more. It is free for everyone to attend, and attendees are encouraged to bring blankets and chairs to take in the evening's offerings. The 48th annual Budweiser Dairyland National Truck and Tractor Pull in Tomah has begun. Festivities began yesterday afternoon along with a luncheon for people to meet some of the top pullers in the country. Organizers say this event is important to the community and shows off a bit of Wisconsin flair.
This is a great event for our area, for economic development, and just to showcase Wisconsin and Western Wisconsin too.
The Truck and Tractor Pull will have events running through the end of the weekend. Well, the 14th annual High School Fishing National Championship and World Finals on the Mississippi River in La Crosse are continuing today. We'll be stopping by to catch up with some of the competitors. All right, now let's send it over to Derek to tell us what to expect for our morning commute. Derek, how are those roads looking?
All right, thanks for that, Jeremy. Air quality alerts continue across the Coulee region until 11 p.m. tonight. In southeast Minnesota, this is until 9 p.m. here across your area. Now, our current temperatures are into the 50s and 60s now. We got 65 in Eau Claire and 63 degrees now in La Crosse. Our forecast today looks like this. Very hot with that high of 94 degrees under partly cloudy skies and wind speeds looking light and variable. For tonight, 66 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and overall a pretty seasonal night in terms of our temperatures as well. Winds still on the light and variable side. Overall, mostly clear skies can be set here across the area. A few showers here near the Chippewa Valley, but other than that, that's about it. In our mowing forecast, you might want to go ahead and knock things out here early as temperatures will be in the low 70s this morning. At noon, not too bad, 86 degrees, but turning hot though by 5 p.m., mostly sunny and a temperature of around 91. I'll be back with a final check on that full weather forecast coming up in just a bit. And also we'll have Look News 8 starting right now.
Well, happy 8th birthday to Sanu. He is a very cute and funny boy who loves to dance and sing.
Happy 8th birthday to Deegan. Deegan is a fun, loving, goofy kid who loves sports and 4-H.
If you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button underneath the Home tab on our website. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Air quality alerts continue across the Coulee region. For the state of Wisconsin, this is until 11 p.m. tonight. If you're in southeast Minnesota, you are under this here for us until 9 p.m. tonight. In the meantime, our current conditions in La Crosse, sunny. 63 degrees is the temperature. Southeast winds light at 6 miles an hour. Meanwhile, if you're in Eau Claire, mainly cloudy skies here. Temperatures at 65 degrees and wind speeds are looking nice and calm. We got temperatures area-wide now into the 50s and 60s, but our forecast highs today are looking very similar to what we had these last several days, upper 80s and low 90s. That trend's going to continue today with a high of 90 today in Eau Claire and a high of 94 this afternoon if you're in La Crosse. A check now on your planner. 68 degrees with sunshine here to start, and then 86 degrees, mostly sunny by noon today. A little bit of a drizzle is possible, otherwise mostly sunny with temperatures at 94. 86 degrees with clear skies as we head into early this evening. As of right now, the local satellite and radar picture is quiet, mostly clear skies. A little bit of a shower here up towards the north around the Chippewa Valley area, and that's actually associated with this stalled frontal boundary here that continues to move very, very slowly across the upper Midwest. Now, this is good news here for some rain with rain chances in the forecast, because you can see the latest drought monitor index showing clearly that this moderate drought here is in place across the Chippewa Valley. We have this abnormally dry condition of a drought along the central zones, and south of that here into our southern communities, we're under that moderate drought, and far south you're under that severe drought. So any type of rainfall that we see around here is definitely beneficial, much needed. We'll keep our eyes on that stationary frontal boundary, but I think the majority of the rain here associated with that is going to be well to our north here this afternoon. That's going to change though, because as you can see, we're watching this developing low pressure system that's expected to take shape to our west. And as it continues to track our way this weekend, we got showers and thunderstorms in the forecast here as we head into tomorrow afternoon and also into tomorrow night. And then we'll be watching the system carefully, because it does look like more showers and thunderstorms could spawn here as we head into Sunday afternoon as well, as this low continues to move through. And then behind it, we're going to be looking at some much cooler temperatures. I'll get to that 8-day forecast here in a second. As far as how much rain we could see with this system, I am thinking that we'll probably see around an inch or more, especially in some of those heavier downpours. Now, as far as the severe weather risk goes, we'll have to keep our eyes on this as well. Some of those thunderstorms could produce heavy rain, gusty winds, and maybe even some hail. The best timing for this is tomorrow between the 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. hour. Here's a check on your 8-day forecast. And as you can see, we have those storm chances in the forecast through the weekend. Some of those showers could linger into early Monday, and then we're much cooler with highs near seasonable as we head into next week.
All right, Derek, thank you very much for that. Well, Brownsville Day kicks off tonight. To celebrate and tell us about the event, we have Angelina Kupiec with us. Angelina, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and a very good morning to you. So tell us, do people, well, first of all, let's start off with, let's get to the very top of it. What can you tell us about the festival?
Yeah, so Brownsville Days has been going on for 35 years. We're a small community just south of La Crescent, right on the river in Brownsville, Minnesota.
And do people have to register or pay for anything?
They don't. We have a large concessions of food and drinks. If you do want to sign up for some beanball tournaments, we do have that as well. But really, most everything is free. We really want to give back to our community in Brownsville.
Yeah. So what are some of the activities people can do? Will there be a petting zoo? Will there be food trucks? Will there be contests?
Yeah, no, actually we have, so tonight it starts at 6 o'clock. We have our co-ed softball teams. There's actually 10 teams registered, and then tomorrow morning is our big day, which will be right before the weather turns too. So tomorrow morning from 9 to 1 we have our classic car show. Then we have our kids games from 2 to 6. We're going to have inflatables, dunk tanks for the kids. We have Houston County Sheriff Brian Swedberg signed up for the dunk tank, so people are excited about that. We have our large parade at 1 p.m. And then we're also going to have some live music. So we have live music from 2 to 4. We have double take band from 8 to 11, and then fireworks at 10 o'clock.
Now you mentioned the parade, so can you talk more about that? Who's going to be in the parade, and what does the parade route look like?
Yeah, so the parade route is right on the main street, so it's very easy to find. As you come into Brownsville on Highway 26, you just go in on the main street, and all the floats are from all around our area.
Okay. And did you mention who was going to be in their parade more specifically?
Mostly Houston County participants and community members as well.
Right.
Is there prize money for any of the competitions?
There is for the softball tournament. So cash prize for that, as well as the beanbag tournament that we have going on.
So you talked about the fireworks.
Yeah.
Where are those being held?
Yeah, those are going to be at the community ball field. So everything is really at the community ball field, the car show as well, all the food vendors, and then all the kids' games.
Cool.
How many years has the city had Brownsville Days?
Yes, 35 years. We're celebrating our 35th anniversary.
35 years. Wow, congratulations on that. And now, why did Brownsville Days start? Can you talk about that?
Yep. So the Brownsville Lions, which is part of Lions International, is what started it, and it's all about giving back to the community. So anybody in need, whether they're having surgeries or deaths, that we always give back to our community. So it's about raising money for that.
Okay.
So what is your favorite part?
Yeah, a lot of it actually. Most of it's community gathering, seeing people that have maybe moved away that are coming back to the community, and just celebrating with all of our family and friends.
Now, let's get to the food. What type of food will we see there? Burgers, hot dogs,
both.
curds?
Yeah, yep. So we've got hot dogs, pork sandwiches, nachos, all the good stuff. That's always fun. So lots of drinks as well.
All right.
Indeed. Will there be a DJ too?
There's not, but there's a really great band. So singer-songwriter Megan Vincent from 2 to 4, and then we have Double Take, a live band from 8 to 11 tonight.
Big question, will Derek and I be able to do some karaoke?
No, well, you could, I suppose, if you grab the mic from the band.
Just steal it and just give it your best shot, right? Where can people find more information on this?
Yep. So our Facebook page is what we have, so the Lions Club, Brownsville, Minnesota, and we have everything on the events page as well.
Okay, great.
And it's happening the whole weekend? All right, so, because Mr. Sibley here is predicting a chance of, showers.
Yep.
What happens if the inclement weather, gets in the way?
There's been a lot of years where we've had softball teams playing in the weather, other than lightning, but pouring rain, we've got softball teams out there sliding in the mud, so.
All right, well, it sounds like a good time. Hopefully the weather will cooperate.
Yep.
I know we talked about there is good chances of showers and storms, but we'll keep our fingers crossed during this event, though. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yep.
Always a pleasure. And Brownsville Days begins today. Definitely something to go and check out. Coming up after the break, we'll have some more news. Welcome back. U.S. military veterans are 5 times more likely to commit suicide than other citizens. That's according to a study by Brown University. Wisconsin 3rd District Congressman Derek Van Orden and 15 other representatives have now introduced a resolution to help veterans struggling with their mental health. The resolution would set November 12th as National Warrior Call Day. The day is meant to encourage Americans to contact a veteran or active duty service member and let them know they aren't alone. While the official call day is November 12th, Van Orden says it's never the wrong time to call.
You do not have to wait till November 12th. You do not. You can call a veteran or a National Guard folk right now or an active duty service member. You can call them today.
Van Orden says the resolution has bipartisan support. If you are a veteran and are struggling with your mental health, call 988 and push 1. That will bring you to a veteran support hotline. Eau Claire City Police are looking for the public's help finding a missing teenager. Police say 14-year-old Koya Olson was last seen on June 11th and hasn't spoken to her family since June 14th. Police say she ran away from home and they have now exhausted earlier leads. Anyone with information is encouraged to call Detective Chaz Walton at the number on your screen. Wisconsin Republicans in the legislature's Budget Committee are announcing a $3.5 billion income tax cut proposal. The plan says the average tax cut would be 15% for all filers, or $573. The state would also go from 4 to 3 tax brackets, with the lowest bracket at 3.5% and highest at 6.5%. Democrats argue the cuts disproportionately favor the wealthy. Republican lawmakers will also cut $32 million from the University of Wisconsin system's budget. This will leave the university nearly $500 million short of what it requested. Republicans say the $32 million they are cutting is what they estimated it would cost to run campus diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. UW's president has warned of tuition increases if the system's budget isn't increased. Governor Evers has threatened to veto the entire state budget if the system's budget is cut. A heads up for drivers who pass through La Crosse's south side. A portion of South Avenue will be closed. The closure will be in place around the railroad tracks near the intersection of Green Bay Street and South Avenue. Crews will be working on the railroad crossing. There will be detours posted using Jackson Street and Loseley Boulevard. The closure is expected to end on Monday at 6 in the morning. Two downtown La Crosse parks are back with summer traditions. The Cameron Park Farmers Market will be back with vendors from 4 p.m. to dusk, and Riverside Park is hosting Fourth Fridays from 4 to 8 p.m. Fourth Fridays is a monthly La Crosse event featuring food and drink vendors, arts and crafts, live music, and more. It is free for everyone to attend, and attendees are encouraged to bring blankets and chairs to take in the evening's offerings. The 48th annual Budweiser Dairyland Super National Truck and Tractor Pull in Tomah has begun. Festivities began yesterday afternoon along with a luncheon for people to meet some of the top pullers in the country. Organizers say this event is important to the community and shows off a bit of Wisconsin flair.
This is a great event for our area, for economic development, and just to showcase Wisconsin and Western Wisconsin too.
The Truck and Tractor Pull will have events running through the end of the weekend.
All right, as you head out the door this morning, keep in mind air quality alerts are in effect for Wisconsin until 11 p.m. tonight. Southeast Minnesota, I should say, until 9 p.m. tonight. A check now on your planner showing mostly sunny conditions throughout the day. Temperatures are going to be warming up into the low 90s this afternoon with a slight chance of a shower and a light westerly wind. All right, so let's take a look at your 8-day forecast. We've got good shower and storm chances in the forecast for this weekend. That could linger into early Monday, heading into next week. We're looking at high temperatures, much cooler, into the low to mid 80s, making it a little bit more seasonable for this time of the year, and low temperatures mainly into the 50s and 60s.
So definitely something to pay attention to. Sunshine today, but chances of precipitation this weekend.
Yeah. I mean, it's much needed. We can definitely use the rain after the latest drought monitor index that came out yesterday. So any type of rain we could definitely use. We'll have to watch out for some strong storms, however, for tomorrow afternoon and night.
Well, thank you for watching News 8 Now. Don't forget to keep up with the news of the day on news8000.com. We'll see you at noon.